Good afternoon. How are you? All right, I'm going to share my screen with a warm up first, and then we will kind of finish up yesterday and do what we need to do today. All right, so can you see my screen? Yay, see if you can match up those terms to the numbers on the right. So I'll give you a few more seconds on that warm up and then we'll talk about it. All right. So welcome to Tuesday. Hopefully you knew it was Tuesday. Hopefully you didn't think it was a different day than that, although that's sometimes me. Okay, and hopefully you got through that warm up. I don't think it was too terrible. Let me find where I put you guys because now you're lost. Just kidding. You're not lost. Okay. Okay. So a certain event has a probability of 1. So it should have been this bottom one, yes? So a certain event has a probability of 1. An impossible event has a probability of 0. A very likely event has a probability of almost 1, right? If you think about that fraction, 999 over 1,000, that's almost 1. And then an unlikely event, 1 out of 1,000. And then a 50% chance, the probability would be 1/2. Did everybody get those correct? All right. And I think you're fine if all the words are there. But if I'm asking you questions and you don't have the vocabulary words there, would you be able to say, oh, that's a certain event because it has a probability of 1? Or that's an impossible event because it has a probability of 0. I will tell you, since I just finished giving my midterms in my online 257, they did not know those vocabulary words, or very few of them did. So when I ask those follow-up questions on your oral midterm, be sure you're prepared with vocabulary. Yes? Any questions on those vocabulary words? No? All right. So we had an exit ticket yesterday. I don't know what happened. Somehow I tricked a bunch of you. Yeah, did you read your email? If you missed your exit ticket, does everybody remember what the exit ticket was yesterday? They're like, I have no idea. That was yesterday.
I remember.
Yeah, what was it?
So the question was, you have three coins and you flip them 3 times, and then what is the likelihood that they'll all be, I believe, heads?
That was not the question. That might be why you got it wrong. Okay, so, or if you got it right, I don't know. Okay, so the question was you tossed a coin 3 times and you got heads on all 3 of the tosses. So the question is, what's the probability you will get heads on your next toss? That's the question. So what's the probability you get heads on your next toss? Somebody who got it wrong, tell me what the correct answer is and why.
So it is 1/2, but it's because the previous events were independent. So the other tosses don't have an effect on your fourth toss. So there's just 1/2, another half possibility that you'd get heads again.
Perfect. And the key to that is knowing that these are independent events and those previous tosses have nothing to do with your new toss. Some of you got tricked, right? And you were like multiplying things. I'm not sure what you were doing because I had such a variety of answers. I think I had 1/16 as a possible answer, which I'm guessing you multiplied 1/2 times 1/2 times 1/2 times 1/2 is what I'm guessing what happened, right? Hannah, question?
Yeah, so I mean, I put 1/16. Obviously, that's wrong. I realized that as soon as I submitted, but it was because I read the question as what's the probability of flipping a coin 4 times and getting heads all 4 times? If that was the question, would it be 1/16?
Yes, but that was not the question.
But they're still independent events in that case, though, right?
But the question would actually be, yeah, but yes, they are. Well, that's actually one outcome. Heads, 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 heads would be 1 out of the 16 outcomes.
Right.
Do you see that? So
Yeah.
you're reading all 4 of those as one outcome then out of 16 possible outcomes.
Totally. Okay. Cool. Thanks.
So does that make sense? So yeah, and so you just have to read real carefully, and I'll read you exactly what the wording is. You have tossed a coin 3 times and gotten heads on all 3 tosses. What is the probability you will toss heads on the next toss? Okay, so that's how it was worded, just so you know. So do you see the difference between Hannah's interpretation and the reading of the question? Is everybody okay with that? All right. So that being said, let's go to our coin flip activity that we didn't get to yesterday. Can you still see my screen? Okay, so this was in the chat. I'll put it in there again. Oh, maybe I don't have it in there again. Hold on. This is not something you're turning it in. Oh, Tyler, I'm so happy you reminded me. It's on my slides. Yeah, it is Fun T-shirt day. Does anyone have a fun T-shirt today? Mine's not as fun. I love Karina's. It's the same one we've seen, but I do love it. I still haven't ordered it. I don't know what's wrong with me. Tyler, what's yours today?
Mine's from a concert. It's one of my favorite bands. It's just the lyrics on the shirt, but in bright, like orange.
Nice. Can you sing it for us?
You wouldn't like that. Trust me.
Well, at least show us the whole shirt so we can see. Oh, okay. Nice. Okay. Maybe you'll make a video of you singing for us later. It's okay. Anyone else have a shirt? My shirt's not fun today. I need to order some more fun shirts. So here's my shirt today. I think I've showed it with you before. I can't remember. It says Mesa Community College, M squared, C cubed. Okay. Because it's Mesa Math Club Community College, right? Mesa Math Club Community College. So 2 M's, 3 C's. It says express yourself. And it's the 8th root of 0 factorial from n to 0, e to the 2 pi I power, which simplifies to 1, just so you know. So there you go. Isn't that fun? This is a shirt I wear hiking all the time. And it's not a shirt you should wear if you don't want people looking at you. I'm just saying. Because probably like that shirt, Tyler, do people stare at your shirt all the time? Like, because they're trying to read the whole thing?
Yeah, they're trying to read it, and then like they're just caught up by the color.
Yeah.
It's a very loud color.
Yeah, well, mine, people are trying to do the math, and I'm like, you can't. Just keep walking. Like, I've had enough of you, right? Yeah, it's a little annoying. So why do I keep wearing it hiking? No one knows. Well, probably because it's a dry fit shirt and it's comfy. Anyone else? Fun shirt. Thanks, Tyler, for the reminder. Okay, who's going to commit to a fun shirt next week? I'm going to commit. I'm going to get a new fun shirt. You don't have to get a new one. You could even just borrow it. Okay, Tyler's in. You just find one in your closet. And it doesn't have to be mathy. It can be whatever. I have several inappropriate that I will not share. But I'm just saying, right? I could borrow any of my husband's. Most of them would be inappropriate. But if you have like kid shirts, if you have anime shirts, any shirts that you guys like, my son has some amazing D&D shirts. Any D&D players out there? Anyone play D&D? Oh, thank you, Elena. I usually can find one, right? Yeah, so D&D is fun. If you don't know what D&D is, never mind. I'm not going to worry you with it, right? Elena and I will just talk about it all the time. Okay, so, but let's commit to a fun shirt next week. Elena, do you have any D&D shirts? Okay, that needs to go on your list of to-dos. Tell your parents to get you one or someone to get you one. Anyone else gonna, Tyler and I are in. We're gonna wear a fun shirt. No one else? Okay, well, those of you
I'll
who
try
that
to.
Thank you, Vanessa. Okay, Sunita, give me the thumbs up. So if you don't want to bring a fun shirt, you have to bring me something else fun. Yes, to the meeting. Like it can be anything. Like if you want to bring some bubbly. Yeah, do you guys drink this? Have you ever had it? Have you seen the new commercial with Michael Bublé on it? It's funny because now they have Bublé Bounce, but I feel like that's stupid, but it's really bubbly bounce. I think it's stupid because don't you drink this because you don't want caffeine? I mean, that's why I drink it. I'm just saying. It's really just water. My kids think it's terrible. So just so you know. Okay. So flipping coins. Yeah, there's lots of ways to flip coins. So when flipping a coin, theoretical probability for getting heads would be 1/2. We all know this. We just talked about it too. Now we're going to use the calculator to electronically simulate flipping a coin by using a random number generator. And this says the TI-73. The reason this says the TI-73 is because that's where this activity came from. It came from Texas Instruments, right? That's most of your graphing calculators are TIs, right? That's what TI stands for, Texas Instruments. And they made like 83s, 84s, 84 pluses, all of those. They look like this, but they made a junior version too, and I don't have any, they're all at work, that's called a TI-73. They're blue, okay? And they're blue, and what they have is they just have a fewer buttons to be a little less overwhelming for middle schoolers. And TI put a huge push out for these calculators for middle school teachers, and middle school teachers could do a training, and then they would get a classroom set of TI-73. So that's why these activities came out and they were pretty popular. So I wrote it off the TI-73, but the TI-83 or 84 is very similar. Our buttons might just be a little different. If you don't have a graphing calculator, don't worry about it because the activity I wrote, you can just use the simulator that I'm going to put in the chat in a minute. So, but if you do have a graphing calculator or if you find them in your school that you're teaching at your first year, ask them, hey, do we have any math resources? Somewhere in a closet is a set of graphing calculators. I promise you, they're everywhere, okay? And they would be blue and they would say TI-73. If you've ever gotten a brand new graphing calculator, you should seed the calculator's random number generator first, because otherwise they're not really random. They all come out of the box and they all start with the same seed value. So we want to give it a new seed value. So if you need to know how to do that, this is how you give it a new seed value. So, and I used to do this in my classroom with my students just so they knew how to do it. So, and each student would pick a 7-digit number and store it into the variable rand, like following these directions. And so it used to be really, really easy a gazillion years ago when kids knew their 7-digit phone number, like their home phone number, right? because we used to go by 7 digits, not 10 digits. So this used to be much easier. Otherwise, you could just show them a piece of paper. You could put it up on the screen and they could use that. And then you can flip a coin electronically. If you have a graphing calculator, I'm going to show you how you can do it on here. It's a little bit different than these directions are. So you can just, so notice on the TI-73, they actually have a choice of coin and dice. We don't have that choice on ours, except for in a secret menu, and I'll show you that in a minute. But what we can do is we can use zeros and ones. Do you see how it says 1 is heads and 0 is tails? That really should say tails. Do you see how it does not say tails? Right there. It should say tails. Okay. So I'm going to switch over to my document camera for a second so you can see my calculator. Okay. Can you see my graphing calculator? It's looking a little fuzzy. I know that's too glary, but I need it to be a little more zoomed in. Let me see if I can turn down this brightness. Hold on one second. Okay. Okay, so it's blurry. I don't know why it's so weird in here, why it's not big. Is it real small to you guys? Oh, it says I'm not even sharing anymore. Hold on. Is it real small to you guys? Can you see it? Can you see anything? Because I can't see anything now. Ah.
White square.
Okay, hold on. Let's try share again. Okay, let me share again. It's not really worth all this fuss. Oh, my thing closed. There we go. Okay, hold on. Okay. Can you see it now? I don't know why it's so tiny. I can turn it upside down. Didn't want to do that. I don't know. Weird. Okay. Hold on. I don't know why it's being weird. Interesting. Screen. Now I messed up my whole entire computer setup, just in case you thought I was smarter than that. My entire computer just shut off. It's okay. We're just going to skip this part for a minute while I troubleshoot my issues. Can you guys hear me at least? Yay. Okay, good. I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to put in the chat a random, a coin flip for you. Okay, a coin flipper for you. Here's how you can flip your coins electronically. So I'm going to put it in the chat. Okay. And then I'm going to pull it out of the chat so I can share my screen from what screen I can see, since I can't see my other screen. Very fun. Okay, so your coin flip. We want to flip one coin and we want to do it 50 times. So what's cool is you can choose how many coins you want to flip and all of that. So, and I'm just going to say first I'll start you off slow. We'll just flip one coin one time, okay? So if we flip our coin, it tells us we got heads. So on our little recording paper, I would make a tally mark that I did one head. So on here, I would say, okay, I got one head. Okay, the nice thing about this is with this simulator, I can flip it so fast, I can just flip it 50 times and I can just say go. It should say my totals. Where is it not saying my totals? Oh, I just want the totals. It should give me the totals. What is happening with this? Oh, there we go, stats. Okay, so here's my stats. Do you see that? I flipped 28 heads and 22 tails. So that's what I got with mine. What I want you to do is go to this website and I want everybody in here to flip your coin. So I got 28 heads and 22 tails. So I want everybody to do that. And then we're going to put all of our information together. So we have how many heads and how many tails, how many total trials, and then we're going to calculate our percentages. Okay? So everybody flip your coins 50 times. Okay? And then I'll have you put them in the chat. And I'm going to try to resurrect what's happening right here. I'm back. I got kicked out of my own meeting. That's super fun. Yay me. Okay, I don't know what is going on, but we're going to move on. We're going to say, okay, can we just get all of your data? So I'm going to go over here. I could put it in a spreadsheet, which would be very helpful, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to write all of our data down here. So you guys all have yours in your somewhere written down. So we're going to do heads, tails. I had 28 heads and 22 tails. I'm just going to call on each one of you as I can see your faces, you know, and ask you what you got. So Elena.
I have 23 heads and 27 tails.
Excellent. Jessica.
I got 25 heads and 25 tails.
Nice. Michaela.
24 heads and 26 tails.
Nice. McKenna.
23 heads and 27 tails.
Madison.
I got 26 heads and 24 tails.
Kelsey.
I got 24 heads and 26 tails.
Bethel.
22 heads and 28 tails.
Karina.
I got 31 heads and then 19 tails.
Nice. Sarah?
I have 20 heads and 30 tails.
Nice. Brianna?
25 heads and 25 tails.
Sunita?
28 heads and 22 tails.
Andrea?
21 heads and 29 tails.
Nice. Vanessa?
I got 30 heads and 20 tails.
Nice. Hannah?
17 heads and 33 tails.
Nice. Essay?
27 heads, 23 tails.
Sydney?
23 heads and 27 tails.
Nice. Betty?
Sorry, 20 heads and 30 tails.
Nice. Alyssa?
24 heads and 26 tails.
I feel like we're missing some people. Who did I miss? I feel like I didn't get Tyler, but I don't know if Tyler disappeared when I disappeared. He may have. Okay, anyone else I missed? Do we have all our data? Okay, so now if we count, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 trials with 50 in each trial, right? So we have a total of 950 tosses. Do you agree? Did I count right? I hope. Okay, so the idea here is if we total all of these, if you look, some of yours were right on the theoretical probability, like this one and this one that was 25 and 25. Some of them were close, like 24 and 26, right? 26 and 24. These were close. But then some of them were pretty far off, like this 31 and 19 and 30 and 20. So this is experimental probability, right? Because we're doing an experiment. We're actually flipping these coins. Now, mind you, when you do this in a classroom with kids, 50 is a little excessive, right? For kids, unless you're doing it electronically. And I love electronically, but sometimes kids need to see the low tech and the high tech. And the low tech proves to them that it still works. So the only problem is, have you ever tried to get a kid to flip a coin? Sometimes that's a 10-minute lesson right there on how to flip a coin, right? So it would be random. So be careful on that. But the idea on this problem is, can we, some of our probabilities were right on with our theoretical probability, but some of ours were way off. So if we just looked at our 50 trials, you might say, oh, they were really close, or oh, they were really far away. But if we take all our trials together, we should be much, much closer to our theoretical probability. So what I need you to do is add all the heads and add all the tails. So I want a total for heads and a total for tails to put in these boxes. And then we'll find those percentages, okay? Did anyone do that already just because they suspected that's what we were going to do? Okay, so right now, if your first name starts with A through K, I want you to do heads, total the heads. If your first name starts with L through Z, I want you to total the tails. So do that quickly, and then I'll ask for your answers in the chat. Sorry, I know you need that. Okay, so I see a lot of totals coming through. As soon as we have confirmation, we're good. I think we have 461 heads and 489 tails. Is that correct? Does that seem correct to you guys? Okay, so so we would have 461 here and 489 here. And then how would we calculate our percentage? What would you do? Very nice. Oh, wait, we're going to divide 461 by 489. Do you think that's how we're find our percentage?
461 divided by 950.
There you go. So 461 divided by 950 and 489 divided by 950. Now, we can tell they're not exactly 50% and 50%. We can tell this one's a little bit higher and this one's a little bit lower, right? Otherwise, they would be the exact same number. So did you get, if we went to the nearest tenth, did you get 48.5%? And then so you'd say 51.5%, right? Now I rounded a little bit, right? I had to adjust this one a little bit more, but you can see they're getting close to that 50-50, that 50%. And you could replicate it again. Now, for some of you, that made your probability worse. But for some of you, it made your probability a lot better. Like if you look at your 30-21, whoever that one was, that was 60% heads, right? And only 40% tails. That's much further away. So the idea is for students to see, does anyone remember what I'm showing here by if I repeat an experiment a large number of times, I will approach the theoretical probability? Anybody remember what that's called? There you go. Hannah's right there. Bernoulli's theorem. Excellent. That is Bernoulli's theorem. So when we do this next part, it says, what if we flip 2 coins? And I want you to think about this. If we flip 2 coins, we can either get no heads, we could get 1 head, or we could get 2 heads. Notice I don't care about tails now. Okay? Notice I don't care about tails. I'm only recording the number of heads. So if we go back to that simulator, if I can find where it is, okay? And I say, okay, now I want to flip 2 coins and I want totals, and I'm going to flip them 50 times, not 150 times, just in case you're wondering. And I'm going to say, I wonder what happens if I say start. Oh, there we go. So if I say start, it flips them for me so I can actually see them moving. I've had to change simulators like 10 times because of the computer's updates. Oh, it's just doing as many as I want. It didn't stop. I wonder what my stats are, as it was too many. Yeah, see, I did it twice, so it actually did too many. So I'm going to start over. I'm just going to go 50 times. Oh, this time it's only giving me, let me see. I don't think it's giving me what I want. See, heads, tails, I can't have that. So this one's going to be a little more complicated. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to go through and record. So it might be easiest if you record it somehow on your tally sheet. So if I was just looking at my first few, I have heads, I have one head, and then I have no heads. So if I was recording these, I would say heads, 1 head, 1 head, 1 head, 2 heads, no heads, 2 heads, and so on. So if I was going to put them on my recording sheet now, I would go through and I would mark what I had, right? So I would say, okay, I got 3, 2 heads, I got 3, 1 head, and I got only 1 no head so far until I had 50 of them. Okay. So I want you to do those flips, and then we're going to calculate this with our whole class data. But if you're waiting for everybody else, investigate the possibilities, what we should get. Okay, what we should get. Okay, so does everybody know what I want you to do? I want you to flip 2 coins 50 times and record the results in this chart. Okay? All right, I'll give you a few minutes to do that. Sounds like some people are having trouble with the simulator. Do you have a graphing calculator? If you have a graphing calculator, I can help you with that simulator. So it looks like Betty, Karina, Michaela.
Also, and then the pictures pop back up.
Say it again, Sarah.
Sorry, my son. But I just refreshed like the page that you sent us, and then the coin pictures pop back up. So I don't know.
For me, I refreshed and it didn't work for me, but I went to the top but in the red like tab says 1 coin, 2 coins. I clicked on the 2 coins and then all of a sudden it popped up the drawing.
Okay, so try that. If that doesn't work and you have a graphing calculator, let me know so I can show you how to do it on your graphing calculator. Tyler, you made it back. Oh, okay. Bummer, Tyler. That sucks. That's okay. I got kicked out right about when you did, but I was able to get back in. But yes, very frustrating. Okay, let me know after you get your 50 recorded. I don't know how long it's going to take, and I've been working on my computer this whole time. Oh my gosh, it's working. Yay. Is everybody doing okay? I haven't heard any chats from you guys. You're just still recording. That's fine if you're still recording. Anyone who's done can send me the totals in the chat. You seem to be short 2, Betty, right? Is that right? Oh, you only have 38, Betty.
Did you want me to include the tails as well?
That's,
No.
if you look at your table, 0 heads, that would be 0
Oh, that would be
heads.
considered the, okay, duh. All right, thank you.
Yeah. Boy, that's weird. Do you see? Oh, you guys can't see it. Essay and Sunita got the exact same thing. I think, yeah. No, maybe not. Maybe I wrote it wrong. 10, SA, you got 10 no heads, 28 one head, and 12 two heads. And Sunita, you got 12 zero heads. Okay, I wrote it wrong. 12 zero heads, 28 one, and 10 two heads. So almost, now you can see my confusion when I was writing them. I was like, that's so weird. They were so close. And Alyssa, I hope you have them in that order, right? 13 is your no heads.
Yes, I do.
Perfect. All right, some people are still going, that's fine. I'm not purposely leaving Tyler out, but I know with your internet, it might be hard. So Tyler, we're just flipping 2 coins 50 times and recording what our results are. So, but we're just flipping them electronically. So no worries. Eight, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have a few more people left. You guys can start totaling them if you want, or you can start working at the top of the next page while you're waiting, if you're waiting for other people. I think we just need like 2 more people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I think it's just 2 more. And do you see how if you're doing an experiment like this with kids, it's going to take a long time, right? Especially if you have them actually flipping coins, which is totally fine if that's what you're trying to teach. Just make sure you reserve enough class time to do it, right? So you might collect all your data one day, and then you might examine it the next day, depending on how long your math period is, right? Okay, is there anyone still waiting to send me data? Or is there anyone who couldn't get it to work, which is fine, we can just use the data we have. Am I waiting for anyone's data? That's what I need to know. No? I'm not waiting for anyone? I have everyone. Did I miss any in the list? Because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And we have 21 people here, but I count as 2 and I didn't do it. So that's 19 and then we're down to 18. Oh, yeah, no, I wasn't counting you, Tyler. You're fine. I should still have 2 more. Does anybody not see their numbers up there? Okay, it's fine. We'll just go with these numbers. How's that? So let's total all of these. So let's have, okay, so Sunita did no heads, 214. So somebody type, and 1 head, oh, Sunita's doing it all for us. Somebody verify these numbers just so we can make sure. I definitely verify the 214. Yay. Okay, you got those. And then is this 213? I didn't verify the 389 yet. Did anyone verify the middle one?
I got 388.
I got 389, like Sunita.
Uh-oh.
Sunita put.
I got 388.
Yeah.
I put
Somebody else. What'd you say, Sunita?
I put 388.
Okay, so 388. Who else got 388 in the middle column? Me, Sunita, Sarah, Madison. Okay, we're going with 388. Did anyone verify the last one? 213, are we good?
I double
Okay.
checked all of them.
Yay, excellent. So now if we total all of those, we have 815, right? That's our total outcomes that we had. So if we go back here, we had our class data. You have your individual data written here. Okay. Our class data was 214, 388, and 213. Now, oh, I guess it goes down here. Sorry. Just wrote it in the wrong place. 214, 388, 213. Total trials was 815. So now, can you calculate your percent of 0 heads, your percent of 1 head, and your percent of 2 heads? For example, for this one, and I just rounded to a 1 decimal place, 26.2%. Yeah, we did not get 815 trials. The reason we got that, Hannah, is because everybody didn't do 50. If you look at their numbers, they did not do 50, right? Like if you look at people's numbers across, not everybody did 50. Does that make sense? Some people did 50, but not everybody did. I can tell by their totals. And I only had 16 people this time. Yeah, so like whoever these were, 13, 14, 27, they did more than 50. Some people did less than 50 because I only had 16 responses from people. So I only had 800 total, but so we must have had a little extra in there. Okay, So I got for my percentages 26.2, 47.6, and 26.2. Now, I rounded to the nearest tenth. These total 100, right? So I had to fudge a little on my last one and make it exactly the same. So my percent of 2 heads and my percent of 0 heads, even though one had 214 and one had 213, I made them the same percentage, even though they're super close. Any questions on where I got those numbers from? Everybody okay? Is anyone surprised or not surprised by these results? Okay, what I want you guys to think about, and we'll discuss this tomorrow because I need to make sure you get your actual work done that you have that's pending. I want you to think about the expected probabilities here. So the expected probabilities, and then we'll compare them with our experimental. And we'll think about that for tomorrow. So I'll pick this up at the start of class tomorrow. Okay? Everybody okay with that? Okay, so let's drop this and let's go over to today's stuff and let's talk about rock, paper, scissors. I'm not going to play the video clip. You can watch the video clip later if you want. I'll make sure you have it online. I think it's online in the assignment. Let's talk about rock, paper, scissors. How many of you know how to play? Raise your hand if you know how to play rock, paper, scissors. We're not playing crazy rock, paper, scissors, gun, fire, bomb, whatever, lizard, Spock, none of that, right? Just rock, paper, scissors. Okay, excellent. Now, is there anyone who does not know how to play rock, paper, scissors? Please tell me now. It's imperative. Everybody okay? Everybody knows how to play. Go over the rules, right? 2 players, you do rock, paper, scissors, shoot, right? And most people do. Now, I've played this with people who shoot on 3. They go 1, 2, and then they shoot. So be careful. Make sure your partner knows what they're doing, right? Make sure you're fair, not cheating. So rock beats scissors, paper beats rock, scissors beats paper. Yes? This is an imperative game for you to know as future school teachers because this solves every dilemma you have on the playground, right? It's true, Karina, right? This solves every argument. Let's play rock, paper, scissors and figure it out. And we'll do 2 out of 3, right? Yeah, it's true. Okay, so I want you to think about, is it a fair game or not? And we actually have a handout for this. Let me make sure I put this in the chat because this one you are turning in, yes? This one is an assignment on Canvas. Does that sound familiar? Okay, so I feel like this is not the one on your thing. I'll put it, I know it's in Canvas. I'll put it in the chat in just a second. Some of you already have it printed out. What you're gonna do is you are going to play rock, paper, scissors against your partner and you're gonna play it 45 times. Did you hear me? 45 times. That's what I'd like you to get done in these last 20 minutes of class. So I know you need the handout. I'm still trying to put it in the chat because I think it's linked wrong in the slides. I should have just checked and made sure it's not linked wrong in the slides. Let me do that first. Okay. So what you're recording is you're recording who is the winner. Ah, here we go. This is the right one. Okay, so, but before you start playing, talk about whether it's a fair game or not. My gosh, my computer is really going to explode very soon. Like eminently. You'll be definitely playing your 45 times in class with your partner. I don't know if you'll finish the whole activity because there's a lot of questions on it, right? But you're each turning in your own anyway. So this is what your activity looks like. Do you think it's a fair game? Why or why not? And you're going to play 45 times. How many times do you think you will win? So you and your partner can talk about that. So when you fill this out, you're going to write, let's just say Elena and Jessica are partners. So let's say Elena is partner 1 and Jessica is partner 2. Okay. And you're just going to mark how many times Elena won, how many times Jessica won, and how many times you tied. And then you're going to record your frequencies, right? So let's say it was 18 and 12. What is that? 30. And then that would be 15, 45. So you should have a total of 45. Then I want you to calculate your experimental probabilities. So for example, you would get 18 out of 45. This would be Elena. And Jessica would be 12 out of 45. And then you're just going to discuss those results. Yes? And then you're going to finish the packet. You don't need your partner to finish the packet. You just need your partner to play rock, paper, scissors. Yes? Okay, I'm putting you in your groups. Although I can't because I'm not the host anymore because I got kicked out of my own meeting. Okay, I'm going to have to leave here. Okay. Sorry, since I got kicked out of my meeting, I had no power anymore. Okay, let me make sure everybody's a partner and except for my iPad. Okay, Tyler, you don't have a partner, but I'll come into your room and I'll show you what I want you to do, okay? Okay, so go play 45 times and I'll see you in a few. Is
That
everybody
was
back,
fun
I
to do
hope?
for 45 times.
What?
I said that was fun to do for 45 times.
Isn't that fun? Okay.
Yeah,
it's
I
more
get tired
fun.
after like the second time my niece tells me to play rock, paper, scissors with her.
It's fun when you play it 45 times because first of all, I've had students who don't know how to play and they're terrible, right? And so they like playing 45 times because by the end they catch on. And the other thing is by the way, online was this little tricky with like glitching people where you're like, I won because their internet kept glitching, right? And so they could see that I was sitting there with scissors and then they always did rock and I was dead. Yeah. So anyway, online might not be perfect. You can play it online, which I do with my online students. Okay, so now you have your data. When you get down to number 5, you're just filling in who's winning. So for example, a T represents a tie. So rock, rock would be a tie. Paper, paper would be a tie. That makes sense. Somebody asked me about this question. How do you find the probabilities on these 3 branches, right? Or on these branches? Because by the way, you're filling all these in. Scissors, rock, paper, scissors, rock, paper, scissors, rock, paper. So anyone have an idea of what number would go on any of these lines?
Would it be 1/3?
Yeah, it would be 1/3 because you have a 1 in 3 chance of choosing rock, paper, or scissors. So absolutely. Okay, now Betty asked, what if you didn't finish? Are we talking finish with your partner or finish the packet?
With my partner.
With your partner. So how many times did you have left to play?
7.
7?
Yeah.
Just do your data 7 short. That'll be fine.
Okay, so we just leave it at 38.
Yeah, that's fine. Just do it at 38. Okay, so here is your exit ticket. We're going to talk about this tomorrow. Notice this isn't due until Friday. Okay? We're doing it in class. We started it in class, but you just needed your data. Now that you have your data, each person turns in their own and it's due by Friday. Okay? We'll debrief this activity tomorrow. So Elena and Betty, I think you're the only 2 that didn't finish. So your numbers will just be out of 38. That's totally fine. Okay, no worries.
All right.
Okay.
Quick question. Can you go over the difference between frequency and tallies again?
Yeah, tallies are these. Tallies are just this. When I put my little tally marks in, frequency is the total of my tallies.
Okay.
That's it. Okay, so do your exit ticket and then you're all good. Bye guys, thanks for all the cooperation with my tech issues.